Once upon a time in ancient Greece, there was a beautiful woman named Althea. Now, Althea wasn't just any woman. Oh no. She was the daughter of the supreme leader of the gods, Zeus himself. And being a daughter of Zeus meant that she had quite a lot of godly power coursing through her veins. Now, Althea's mother was not the queen of the gods, Hera, but an obscure minor goddess by the name of Demeter. You might have heard of her. She's the one responsible for all the seasons and stuff. Anyway, Althea grew up knowing that she was a half-god, half-mortal, and she always felt a bit out of place among both the gods and the mortals. The gods thought she was too wild and unruly, and the other kids at school called her a weirdo because she could turn into a falcon and would occasionally use her godly powers to make mischief. Althea just wanted to fit in, to have someone to call her friend. But with her wild, untamable hair that seemed to have a mind of its own, how could she ever hope to do so? One day, while Althea was moping about her lack of friends, she heard a voice that said, "Don't be sad, child. I can help you." She turned around and saw an old woman with a kind face smiling at her. "Who are you?" Althea asked, and the old woman replied, "I am the one who helps those in need. Now, what seems to be your problem?" Athena explained to her how she wished she could tame her unruly hair so that she could look like the other girls at school, and maybe even make some friends. The old woman stroked her beard and said, I think I might be able to help you, but you must do exactly as I say, or it won't work. Do you understand?" Althea, desperate for a friend, could only nod her head in response. The old woman then handed Althea a small pouch and said, "Take this home with you. It will help you in the end." Althea thanked her profusely and ran off to get home as fast as she could. When she got home, she took the pouch out of her pocket and sat on her bed. She knew what she had to do. Taking a deep breath, she poured all the contents of the bag onto her lap. It was full of tiny little pebbles. She picked one up and started to braid it into her hair. And as she did, she began to hum a tune that the old woman had sung to her. As the first rays of sunlight hit her hair, Althea's hair stopped being a mess and became the most beautiful braid anyone had ever seen. Not only that, but the braid seemed to have a life of its own, coiling and uncoiling with a mind of its own. Althea was ecstatic. Finally, she had tamed her hair and it looked amazing. Plus, she now had a new friend to talk to. But then suddenly, the ground began to shake, and a booming voice echoed through the room. "Althea, where are you, you little witch? I know you have my pouch." Althea froze in fear. The last thing she remembered was grabbing a random pouch from the old woman and bringing it home. Could this be some kind of trick? Before she could think of a reply, the door burst open and in walked none other than Zeus himself, his face red with anger. Althea was petrified. What had she done to anger the king of the gods? Had he known she was his daughter all along, and was he here to take her away to live with him on Mount Olympus? Or maybe Hera had finally found out about Althea and was here to punish her. But then Zeus noticed the braid. His eyes widened in surprise. He had never seen anything so beautiful. "Who did your hair for you, child?" he asked, his voice no longer booming but gentle. Althea explained how she had met a kind old woman who helped her. And Zeus, still staring at the braid, nodded his head in understanding. It seemed that the old woman had used a special trick to make Althea's hair obey her. And the only way to undo the spell was for Althea to give the pebbles back to the old woman. But Zeus didn't want his daughter's hair to stop being beautiful. So instead, he reached over and picked out a few of the pebbles, hiding them in his fist. Then he handed Althea the rest of the pebbles and sent her off to return them to the old woman. When Althea came back, Zeus told her, "From now on, you shall be known as the goddess of the wild hunt. You shall have the power to control the winds and the waves, and all the beasts of the forest shall be your servants." And so it was. Althea, the once lonely girl who just wanted a friend, now had powers beyond her wildest dreams.